You are driving down the financial highway of your life, eyes glued to the rearview mirror, obsessed with the monthly bill, the next paycheck, the nagging fear in your gut that whispers, "What if?" You are navigating by reaction, by the tiny blinking lights of daily survival. And in that mode, you will never see the true signposts. You will miss the only 3 exits that actually matter. Today, we are tearing off that rearview mirror and throwing it out the window. We are looking through the windshield far down the road at the 3 coordinates that change the entire trajectory of a human life. Not a fancy car, not a bigger house, not the trivial junk that society calls success. We are talking about the 3 net worth milestones that change everything. This is not about getting rich. This is about getting free. This is the language of maturity, of intentionality, of building an empire of your choosing, brick by boring brick. If you're new here, you need to be here. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit that notification bell, because we don't do hype. We do proven, battle-tested principles that have walked millions of people out of despair and into real, lasting wealth. And what I'm about to map out for you is the core of that journey. Let's define our terms because the world has mangled them. Your net worth is not your income. Your income is your tool. Your net worth is your scoreboard. It is the brutal, unemotional, mathematical truth of your financial life. It's assets minus liabilities, what you own minus what you owe. And when this number crosses specific life-altering thresholds, it doesn't just change your bank statement. It rewires your brain, your marriage, your peace, and your potential. Most people live and die between negative net worth and 0. They are slaves to the lender, as the good book says. Their financial energy is siphoned off before they even get a chance to use it. My entire ministry, my life's work, is built on the screamingly simple plan to get you to 0. We call it baby step 2, pay off all debt but the house. But that's just the starting line. That's just crawling out of the grave. Today, we talk about what happens after you start breathing the clean air of being debt-free. Milestone number 1, 0, the ground of being. You've felt it, the weight, the $52,000 student loan shadow, the $25,000 in credit card chains, the $8,000 car note on a depreciating hunk of metal, the relentless monthly bleed of minimum payments. It's a tax on your future, a toll on your dreams. It's the bank's emergency fund, not yours, and it guarantees you will stay poor. Crossing the threshold to net worth 0 is the single most profound psychological event in personal finance. It is more powerful than your first $100,000. Why? Because it's the moment you stop working for them and start working for you. I want you to picture this. You've been following the baby steps. You've got your starter emergency fund of $1,000, baby step 1. You've listed your debts smallest to largest, the debt snowball, and you've been gazelle intense. You've eaten rice and beans, sold the car you couldn't afford, taken on extra jobs. You've attacked that smallest debt with everything you have, celebrated its death, and rolled that payment onto the next one. The snowball builds, and finally, after months or years of intensity that most people refuse to endure, you make the last payment. The last student loan, the last medical bill, the last everything. You call the lender and you ask for the payoff amount. You send the check. And you are done. The air changes. You sit at your kitchen table and the silence is deafening. For the first time in your adult life, your entire paycheck is yours. Every dollar you earn from this day forward has your name on it, not MasterCard's, not Sally Mae's. This is what financial peace tastes like. It's not a feeling of being rich, it's a feeling of being clean. This milestone changes everything. It proves the naysayers wrong, the ones who said debt is a tool, that you'll always have a car payment. It proves you wrong, the old you who thought you couldn't do it. You have just done what 80% of Americans feel is impossible. You have broken the cycle. From this ground of being, net worth 0, you can now build on rock, not sand. Your $1,000 starter emergency fund, baby step 3, now explodes into a full 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in a boring money market account. This is your Murphy repellent. Life will still happen. The transmission will go out. The roof will leak. But now, when it does, you look that problem in the eye, write a check, and mutter, "That's annoying," not, "We're ruined." This fund moves you from a life of crisis management to a life of management, period. This is the foundation, but a foundation is not a house. It's what you build on that changes your life forever. Which brings us to the most misunderstood, most critical, most powerful milestone of them all. Milestone number 2, $100,000 in liquid, invested assets. The tipping point. 0 is freedom from the past. $100,000 is freedom for the future. I need you to understand something. We are not collectors of dollars. We are collectors of choices. And $100,000 in liquid invested assets, that's money in retirement accounts, mutual funds, not your house, is the point where your money starts working as hard for you as you worked for it. Most people never get here. They get to 0, breathe a sigh of relief, and then slip back into the coma of normal. They upgrade their lifestyle. They get a nicer car payment. They stop being gazelle intense. They abandon the plan right when the magic is about to start. Here's the brutal math and the beautiful promise. Let's say you are 30 years old, you are debt-free, you have your full emergency fund, you are now on baby step 4, investing 15% of your household income into retirement. You make $70,000 a year. 15% is $10,500 a year, or $875 a month. You invest that every single month in good growth stock mutual funds, inside a Roth IRA, and your 401k. You follow the baby step investing philosophy we teach. Spread it across 4 types: growth, growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. For the first few years, it feels slow. You put in $10,500 and maybe it grows to $12,000. You're doing all the work. This is the grind phase. You're planting acorns in a drought faithfully when everyone else is buying jet skis on credit. But then you hit $100,000. And something mathematical and magnificent happens. The principle of compound growth stops being a textbook concept and becomes a silent sleeping giant in your financial basement. Let me show you. At a 10% average annual return, which is the historical stock market average, your $100,000 makes $10,000 in a year, by itself, without you lifting a finger. That's almost as much as you're putting in. Now your money is adding a part-time job's worth of income to your net worth every year.
You are no longer just a contributor. You are a capitalist. You own a piece of the productive engine of the world. You have crossed the line from saving to building. This milestone changes your mind. The fear begins to melt. The question in your mind shifts from, will I ever be able to retire, to, when will I be able to retire? You start to see the finish line. You understand viscerally what I mean when I say, if you will live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else. The $100,000 mark is the proof of concept for your entire financial life. It validates the sacrifice. It turns discipline into delight. It's the moment your small, consistent, boring choices coalesce into a force of nature. You have reached escape velocity from the gravity of paycheck-to-paycheck living. But we are not done, because there is a final milestone, one that redefines the very concept of work, time, and purpose. Milestone number 3, the point of critical mass, when your investments can cover your basic needs. This is the mountaintop. This is the number that is different for everyone, but the principle is the same for everyone. It's the point where the annual growth of your investments equals or exceeds your annual basic living expenses. Let's say you and your family can live comfortably on $60,000 a year after taxes. Not lavishly, comfortably. Your mortgage is paid off, that's baby step 6. You have no payments, you live on a budget you control. Using a conservative withdrawal rate, what we call the 4% rule as a rough guide, you would need an investment portfolio of around $1.5 million to generate that $60,000 per year, adjusted for inflation, for the rest of your life. But I don't want you to obsess over the big, scary number. I want you to understand the feeling. When you cross this threshold, you are no longer working for need. You work for choice. You work for calling. You work for kingdom impact. This is true wealth. Not the ability to buy a yacht, but the ability to tell any man on earth no. It is the ultimate endorsement of the proverb, the borrower is slave to the lender, but the wise man leaves an inheritance. You have not just built an income stream, you have built a legacy. At this point, your net worth is no longer just about you. It becomes a tool for outrageous generosity. That's baby step 7. It funds scholarships, it builds churches, it launches ministries. It becomes a river of blessing that flows through you to others. This is where you can truly live and give like no one else. You have gone from being a consumer to a manager to an investor, and finally to a patriarch or matriarch, a generational architect. Now, let's tie this all together with the engine that makes it possible: your income. These milestones are not reached by coupon clipping alone. You must become a monster of income. Your career is your #1 wealth-building tool. That means you must act your wage. You must invest in yourself, in your skills, in your education, in your side hustle. You must be the best at what you do so you can earn more, so you can save and invest more, so you can hit these milestones faster. There is no nobility in being broke. Work works. And this entire journey is built on one non-negotiable foundation: the budget, or as we call it, the zero-based budget. Every dollar has a name before the month begins. This is your blueprint. This is the monthly granular act of will that translates your big dreams into daily behavior. Without it, you are a wishful thinker. With it, you are a general commanding your financial army. So here is your marching orders. First, get mad. Get mad at the debt, the lies, the stress. Decide that zero is your immediate non-negotiable mission. Get gazelle intense. Sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. Second, get disciplined. Once you're debt-free, except the house, build that emergency fund like your family's life depends on it. Then, like a robot, invest 15% into retirement. Not 14%, 15%. Make it automatic, out of sight, out of mind. Let the power of compounding do the heavy lifting while you sleep. Third, get vision. Keep your eye on the $100,000 mark. That's your first major financial victory post-debt. Celebrate it. Then keep going. Attack your mortgage, that's baby step 6, with the same fury you attacked your debt. Own your home free and clear. It's the ultimate middle-class wealth accelerator. Finally, get generous. As your net worth grows, your heart must grow faster. Integrate giving into your budget from the very beginning. Start at 1%, then 5%, then 10%. Watch how joyful giving turbocharges your contentment and your commitment to the plan. This is the path. It is simple. It is not easy. It requires behavior modification over time. It requires you to be weird. But I promise you, on the other side of these 3 milestones is a life you cannot currently imagine. A life of peace, of options, of generosity, of leaving a mark that outlives you. You have a choice. You can continue to be a slave to the past, a prisoner of the present, and a debtor to the future. Or you can start today. You can take that first terrifying, glorious step. If you are ready to stop playing games with your life, if you are ready to walk this proven path, you need a community that speaks this language. You need a daily dose of truth and toughness. That is why this channel exists. We are here to be your coach, your cheerleader, your drill sergeant. We will not waver on the principles because the principles never fail. Do not walk this road alone. Subscribe right now. Hit that bell. Every day, we're here with the content, the clarity, and the kick in the pants you need to cross these milestones. Join over 1 million people who are taking back their lives. Your future self will look back on this decision, this click of the subscribe button, as one of the most important financial moves you ever made. Now go tell your money what to do. Change your family tree.